I think in life that's something we need to practice, where we appreciate the moment and we appreciate the things within us, right? So that obviously that can give us a sense of satisfaction. Oftentimes we don't realize that happiness comes from within, right? You don't always realize that. Sometimes we think that when we get a new shoe, when we buy a new shoe, when we buy a new video game, or when we buy a new course, or whatever it is, we think that that's going to lead us to happiness. But that's not true. Those things, they will give us temporary feelings of joy, which can be good, but it's not necessarily happiness. Happiness really comes from within. It comes from being able to manage your thoughts, your feelings, and to generate a positive state within you. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. So it's not like the type of optimism where I'm really happy and I'm I don't even know why, but it's just gonna interact a good state. That doesn't always work. You can kind of hype yourself up, but what you need to pay attention to is that when you try to generate good feelings, you generate it from a place of authenticity and not just fake optimism, right? You want to really align your thoughts in a way that feels authentic to you. You don't want to fool yourself into being happy. You want to nudge yourself along that line. And that's going to give you more good feelings when you can align your thoughts and align your inner state with that. That's something that you can do. Now, as you just talk, you need to slow down and feel what's happening in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your mind, in your body. Just feel it, and then you can find a good way to respond to that. And again, lead yourself to a place of authentic positivity, right? Because that's not just going to allow you to be happy, it's also going to allow you to be productive, right? Because if you feel terrible, if you just feel kind of bad, you won't be able to work with as much intent as if you feel you're great, you're feeling great, and you're feeling motivated. So that's really something you can self-generate. And obviously, there is you can't do everything like that. There's also the external world that still affects you. So it's the people you speak to, the people that are around you, the friends that you have, maybe the houses that you have, all these things, they will help either make you happy or make you less happy, right? But the key is to realize that, yes, those things determine your initial reaction, but you can hijack or nudge your brain, and ultimately you can be the one that has control if you can manage to control your inner state, right? So that's how you could actually live in a small house where you don't even have a lot of luxuries, and you might be in a situation where maybe you don't have a lot of friends, but you could still self-generate a feeling of happiness in a way, and you actually can. right? And I'm not saying that to minimize the pain of people who are in situations like that, because obviously it does affect everyone, right? But if you can master your inner state, you can really do a lot with that, right? The best monks, the best Buddhists, they can be so aware that they know what's going on, and they've taught themselves the ability to transcend their reactive states, and they, instead of being reactive to their situation, they can choose how they feel in the moment. They could choose to be happy, they could choose to be sad, but they are not limited by their situation. And that should be the goal, I think, for everyone. If internal mastery is like important to you, if you feel like it's important for you to have control of your state, I think that's a nice goal. And I think it's very useful in life in a lot of situations, and especially in sales and communication. Like if you can self-generate a feeling of joy, of positivity, good emotions, good feelings, happiness, you're going to attract that around you as well. And people are going to feel that you don't need things from them, because people can feel like when you're like trying to leech emotions of them. But if you can self-generate joy, people will be attracted to that. So that's like a realization you can have, especially when you're trying to improve your communication, for example, in sales, or for example, in cold approach. So that's an idea there. And yeah, realize that ultimately you're the one in control of your state if you choose to be. You don't need to be limited by your immediate environment, and you can choose, like even this dog now, if I remain positive, ultimately he doesn't need to get to me. I can feel positive, and like if I remain this way, beings will eventually adjust to that, and they'll know you're a being of joy and that they can't get negativity out of you. And some people will be frustrated by that, but most people will be attracted to that in a good way, because that's what love is. So that's how you know a high performance and a high conscious individual. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.